Hi friends, it's Deanna Nichols, and I know that it's not a weekday today, and I know that I already did a video about forgive, but I accidentally deleted it. I'm so sorry, please forgive me. So I didn't want you to miss out on one of the oils. I've had a lot of requests to watch the replay, and I realized that it must have gotten accidentally deleted. So real quick, we're just going to do a makeup video on Forgive, and I really do like this oil. And when it came out at convention 2 years ago, that was my first time to try it. I went into the Willy Wonka room, which is what I call the product room, where you can literally try all the doTERRA products as much as you want. It's such a fun experience. And I went in there, and right before I had walked in, I had had someone who purposefully and strategically did something that was very hurtful. And I was feeling really bad. I mean, just really, really bad. And I walked in there and I saw this oil sitting there and I thought, I need some of that. I just instinctively knew. And I took it and smelled it and just no one told me to do this, but I just rubbed it over my heart. It just made kind of sense to me. That's what was hurting my heart. And so I did that. And even though it did not change what the person had done or how they continued to act the rest of the evening, it was a very special evening nonetheless. Kind of a big milestone for me, and just a special moment, and I was able to enjoy it anyway. And that's what I love about essential oils. Somebody recently was saying that they didn't like how doTERRA talks about the emotional oils, like they're magical and spiritual, and they take the place of like God working in your life or you actually doing the actions. Like you can just sprinkle oil on it and everything's okay. And we definitely don't teach that. That's why our Sunday night events are called Oils Are Not Magic Beans. They don't do the work for you, but they have this amazing ability to help you to have a change of mind. And we know that as a man thinks, so is he. And so our actions result from things that we have felt emotionally and also things that we have thought in the past. And so if we can change our emotions and change our thoughts, then we can change the outcomes. Not magically through work and over time, but this can open up your heart and open up your mind to a different way of thinking. So if you have someone who, when you talk to them, it's usually a difficult conversation and you know you're going to have to be around that person, or you need to have what you think will be a difficult conversation with someone, I recommend using Forgive before the conversation. I do recommend putting it over the heart. And again, it won't change the person, but it can change your heart and how you are receptive towards what they have to say. I've done that, and it's helped me to be more open to the other person's point of view. That is not one of my strong suits. If I feel very strongly about my opinion, I have a hard time opening up my heart to a new opinion or a new feeling. And this may not change my opinion, but this at least allows me to love the other person where they are and allows me to keep peace. And so I really think that before we have political conversations in our country, this would be a great oil to apply first. Maybe we could diffuse it in Congress. That would be something, and some Motivate too. I don't want you to underestimate the physical benefits of this oil, because we know it's an emotional blend and we tend to want to use it for our emotions, and that's great. But if you've ever read the book Feelings Buried Alive Never Die, which is one of my favorite books, it talks about in there how things that happen to us and emotions that we feel that we kind of stuff down and we don't express and we don't really resolve, that they don't go anywhere. They don't die, they don't go away, they just get buried and stuffed, and over time they create physical effects in our bodies, which can lead down the road to some pretty bad things that happen. And so I just want you to start thinking, when you have issues that happen in this section of your body, so we're talking about like your lungs, your heart, things that are located in that section, I want you to think about using Forgive, because doTERRA is really wise, and God, who created these plants, is also extremely wise. And so these plants that are in here, they can help with your feelings that come from this section, but also the physical things that come from the section, because a lot of times they're related, and I'll prove it to you. Sometimes, have you ever heard somebody say somebody died of a broken heart? I mean, is that really possible? But yeah, I mean, if you're hurting so much here, it can start to affect the things that are located in your physical body here, or if you've ever just been so upset you didn't feel like you could breathe. And so sometimes when we're struggling with a respiratory or a cardiovascular issue, using the Forgive blend is good. And if you think about the oils that are in here, like thyme is one that I always recommend for respiratory stuff. There's also bergamot in here, which is really cleansing and helps to move things through the body. And so that's good to clear things. Thyme is the same way. It's like a clearing oil. Thyme is also like an oil of letting go. And so that's why that's in here. Certainly to forgive, we have to learn to let go of things and kind of give it over to God. There's also lots of tree oils in here, and tree oils are very grounding. We have taught in the past that if you have somebody that you need to forgive or resolve something with, that maybe you can't have a personal conversation with them for various reasons, whether they're no longer available to talk to them in person or it would just open up too much wounds for you or for them, then we recommend that you go talk to a tree. Not because trees are some kind of magical being, it's just because God created the trees and they're very grounded and rooted, and it kind of is a representation of letting go of something and giving it to God and letting Him take over. And it's, as humans, we need to see sometimes something with our actual eyes that we can look at. And so it's just a visual reminder. God created us the way we are, and we're humans and we like to see people with skin on them, you know. You've heard that story probably about the little boy, his dad, he was afraid of the dark, and his dad just said, you know, God said that He's always with you, and he said, Daddy, I want you because I need somebody with skin on. And that is how we are as humans. We sometimes just need a physical representation. And so trees are really great at helping to, what do trees do in the environment? They pull toxins from the air and they release fresh new air into the air for us to breathe. And so trees have a really strong ability to help us to let go of things and move forward. So I hope that these tips are helpful to you, and I hope that you will share this video. And I apologize that the last one is missing, but we've had a makeup video, and we'll be back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock, or excuse me, what day is this? Yeah. We'll be back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time with our next oil. Hope you'll join me tonight, Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, for Oils Are Not Magic Beans, but they help me with weight management. That's a real good one, so we'll talk about that tonight at 9. See you then. Shine on.